All right, welcome everybody. I'm Lucian Fogoros, and today we have the honor to talk to Romil Bahl of Core, um, the CEO and president, on IoT connectivity and drones and how they are used to carry the test and vaccines across the world. Welcome, Mr. Bahl. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, yeah. Hello there, Lucian, and thanks for having me. Listen, a little bit about myself. I guess this is my third run as a CEO. I've had the good fortune of running both public companies and private equity companies, and now, of course, in Core, a private equity owned company that is going public here in the third quarter. We should be listed on the New York Stock Exchange in the next few weeks. I've been here a little bit over three and a half years, and have really, had a lot of fun getting this company ready for what I call the decade of IoT. Right, this explosion that's going to happen from roughly 12 billion connected IoT devices in 2020 to roughly 75 billion connected devices by 2030. We've really been getting ready for it, getting ready to provide a whole series of connectivity solutions and analytics services.
Thank you for that, and exciting times around connectivity. Can you maybe share some insights with our audience about some of the best opportunities for IoT connectivity and drones right now? What are you seeing? And I know you've just presented in front of the King of Spain.
That's right. Yeah, we were at Mobile World Congress. It was fantastic to be back, live, large event. Not as big as in prior years, of course, but it was good to be back. And yes, one of our solutions jointly that we submitted with one of our customers, Swoop Aero, was indeed selected as one of the, if you will, the top impact type solutions. IoT for good is something we take very seriously, of course, and this is a classic example of that. Basically, what this customer of ours, Swoop, they're based in Australia, has really innovated around is how do you get essential goods and supplies to very difficult to reach places, right? Rural places, obviously parts of Africa come to mind, but it's not limited to Africa. In fact, their drones have delivered supplies even in the northern part of Scotland, for example, some of the Shetland Islands. It can take up to 2 days to get up there through canals and stuff like that. Well, a drone will cut that commute time to 30 minutes, right? Which is key if you need to get a COVID vaccine transported or a COVID test, back and forth, etc. And so, yeah, these drones are fantastic. They call them the Kookaburra, right? It's 3D manufactured, solar powered as much as possible, about 100-mile range, about a 3 kilogram or 6.6 pound payload. So in practical terms, you can think about 25 vials of COVID vaccine, 250 shots could be transported at one time. So just a fabulous, again, innovation. And they've got now about 24 of these things delivering vaccines in Malawi. They got 17 deployed in the Democratic Republic of Congo. And as you can imagine, for this drone to fly without any issues, it needs absolutely seamless connectivity, right? When you don't have cell towers in many of these rural places, you have to be able to seamlessly pick it up with satellite, and that sort of global, fully resilient eSIM type solution is what Core contributed to a great cause.
So I'd be curious to see what are some of the challenges you're facing, regulatory or others, with implementing with the connectivity in those areas, or others, as you're a global company.
Yeah, look, I tell you, one of the things that has held IoT back, right, Lucian, this last decade, between 2010 and 2020, is the exact point you're making, is all of these complexities of making connectivity work, and really more than just connectivity, it's that combination of what I say is connectivity management plus device management plus data management, right? Those three things have to come together, or there is no IoT. There is no Internet of Things if I can't get connectivity, if I can't get data to fly, right? And so this is the singular problem that Core has been focused on solving for now just about 2 decades since we started. We started as a just an M2M provider with one carrier in Canada, actually in Rogers, and then became the partner for AT&T. And from those early days where we were integrated only into those two carriers, today we have 44 back-end integrations into the major carriers of the world. If you can name the carrier, they're pretty much likely to be a partner, again, integrated into their OSS, BSS stack so we can provision SIMs and get usage. And that's the power, that back-end connectivity is the power that we bring to this solution. It sounds very easy. Oh yeah, we delivered a resilient solution no matter where in the world these guys go. But to do that, it's literally taken 2 decades, 44 back-end integrations, 3 different satellite providers. And by the way, we can integrate to LoRa and unlicensed cellular. And so when it needs to work across multiple protocols, as many solutions in the real world need, we believe we're the leading global independent provider for our customers.
Sounds very exciting. Now, I'm going to switch over to some of the challenges. Is what's holding IoT back? Just picking up on that comment. And I know there are several decades of innovation in manufacturing, and you're looking to add an industrial IoT solution for manufacturing. Now, there's roughly about 800 startups in IoT focusing on that, and yet you're looking to add a solution. What is different about for a solution?
Yeah, look, so let me first start by just saying that some of the obstacles, to your point, over the past 10 years. So, back in 2010, analysts were saying 20 billion devices by 2020, 25 billion devices by 2020. And then the first 5 years of the last decade was terribly disappointing, right? In fact, Cisco had a study published around 2016 or 2017, just before I joined Core, that said that almost 2/3 of all proof of concepts and prototypes in IoT are failing or stalling or not delivering the business case, right? And the reasons for all of that are everything from lack of expertise and resources, knowledge of IoT, to the complexity, as you just already talked about, of the multiple protocols needed. There's regulatory issues and compliance issues. There's a fragmentation of the ecosystem. In fact, a consulting firm had done a study that said, on average, for an enterprise to launch just one IoT solution, sort of an end-to-end IoT solution, you need up to 18 partners. I mean, it's crazy. It's really hard. If one of your industrial customers, a manufacturer, wants to send out a product and sell that product in 20 markets, 40 markets, 50 markets, 50 countries of the world, they know firsthand how painful that is, because they would have to deal with 80, 100, maybe more carriers, because you want to have 2 to 3 carriers per country. And by the way, that's 2 to 3 SIM cards in their assembly line. Now that's over 100 SKUs, right? I mean, it's impossible to get those forecasts right, and mistakes happen. Wrong SIMs get sent into the device, or a connected product is going to a wrong country. The cost of that, the customer abrasion of that, it is really, really interesting how this massive opportunity to provide connected products that all of us as consumers want is actually quite hard to deliver. And so uniquely, what Core does on the connectivity side, first of all, I already talked about, right? So we can connect you anywhere in those countries. Instead of talking to 100 carriers, getting 100 bills, calling 100 people for support, signing on to 100 platforms every day, you sign on to one at Core, and we manage all of that for you. Now, what's even more exciting, because this is the front end, this is the connectivity management side of the story. The back end, the SKUs, the 100 SKUs, we're solving that problem by being one of the leading global eSIM providers. Right? Just like Apple is pushing eSIM on the consumer side, we are driving the innovation of eSIM to the GSMA standards, where you can just put one smart card into your connected product. It wakes up with a bootstrap anywhere in the world, and then we can download over the air. So it's an in-field, update process, right? So that's the connectivity side of that equation. And then, of course, there's solutions and analytics side of the story. So let me say specifically, look, I know, as you said, there are other providers popping up around the manufacturing and IoT space, of course, because some analysts believe, and we believe, that 40% or more of those connected 75 billion devices will be on factory floors and industrial, and certainly smart buildings, smart cities, smart apps as a part of that. So the things we are focused on, Lucian, is, look, we're not focused on the very large enterprises, right? Those guys can spend millions of dollars on Accenture or somebody coming in, and then of course, expensive products and suite of technology. But that next tier of manufacturers who are looking for low cost, pragmatic way to really make Industry 4.0 happen for them, right? That's where we are singularly focused, right? Getting your PLCs and controllers talking to um, very low cost, highly effective devices that can be connected from an IoT wireless type standpoint. Put your dashboards and your apps on any cloud you want, AWS, Azure, wherever you'd like. Pragmatic, low cost, bring you into the decade of or into the era of Industry 4.0. That's what we're focused on.
Thank you for those insights, and we look forward to follow the progress. I want to kind of close with one piece of advice you'd give a startup that may want to go this direction with IoT connectivity and drones, and perhaps how do you extract more value for the end users out there?
Yeah, look, I mean, I'll give a couple of pieces of advice, I guess. The first is, those of us that have been around for about 2 decades and have lived through all of these issues, we sort of know those challenges and obstacles. And so whether it's core or not is not the point. The point is, get a trusted advisor, who can help you look around the corner at the problems that are coming and help you seamlessly through an implementation. I cannot tell you how many times customers come to us too late in the process and they say, "Oh, we just need to connect this device." And we're like, "What's the use case?" And the device is a horrible choice for that use case for XYZ reasons. And then they find themselves going back in time. Or they're now ready to launch after 18 months of work. And oh, we didn't realize we had to get our devices certified on all these networks all over the world where we need to connect them, right? So avoid those issues. And as I like to say, we like to take our customer journeys from 18 to 24 months to launch a solution down to 18 to 24 weeks, right? So that's one answer, or one tip. The other tip I would provide is, look, you have to get in the game, right? You cannot keep kicking the can down the road and say, "Oh yeah, I'll wait," or "I'll wait for LTE," and now it's "I'll wait for 5G." No, you have to get in the game. You have to get the data flowing. You have to see the power of what you can do with those analytics. You have to, because that innovation will build on itself and it'll build you momentum. And the people that are in the game are getting further ahead all the time, and you just can't afford to fall behind that competition. So anyway, so those are my advice for what it's worth.
Thank you, Mr. Bahl. And if you're in the audience, you have questions for our guest, feel free to leverage the hashtag you see there on that screen, the hashtag KORE_IoT, and we'll make sure that we get them addressed. Appreciate your time.
Thank you so much, Lucian. Thanks for having me.